The Human Highlight Reel, Andonian Air, Lightning in a Bottle. These are all nicknames given to Bryce Andonian by his fans and teammates, and if you've had the good fortune to see Andonian in action, you'll quickly understand why. To watch Bryce Andonian wrestle is to see the sport in its most entertaining and exhilarating form. Explosive and devastating upper body throws, lots of pins, wild and acrobatic rolls and flips, and other counters. Andonian wrestles with a certain reckless abandon where going for broke and taking risks is the norm, and rules like never reach back from bottom position or avoid going to your back are broken with impunity. There's a phrase in wrestling called letting it fly, and it means to aggressively open up your offense in the hope of scoring big. To let it fly is to leave caution to the wind and make something happen, risks be damned. This is of course the Andonian way, and from what I've seen, the only way he is capable of wrestling. This let it fly gunslinger archetype is characterized by a few things. One is a general lack of fear or caution, bordering on recklessness. This means a willingness to take risks and go for big moves, no matter the skill of the opponent or how big the moment is. Another, and related to the prior, is a complete and total trust in your instincts or intuition. To be a gunslinger, you need to operate in a flow state where you allow your trained intuition to take over. This mindset of trusting your intuition is critical because any doubt, hesitation, or even conscious thought can derail the execution of a big move in those brief windows where the opportunities present themselves. Think Darian Caldwell hitting a headlock in the finals of the 2009 NCAA championships, or Bo Nickel getting the pin in the finals of the 2018 NCAA championships. Let's kick this off by taking a look at Andonian's favorite techniques. One thing Andonian does exceptionally well is transition from lower body attacks to the upper body clinch. This lower body to upper body transition is how he facilitates many of his throws. To do this, he first initiates a lower body attack, oftentimes a double leg. And as the opponent defends, Andonian slides his arms up into a clinch position, typically an over-under body lock with a left underhook and a right overhook, where he can then finish with some form of off-balancing attack. Let's check out a few examples of this. Andonian initiates the attack and uses the opponent's defensive left underhook as an invitation to enter into the over-under position. From here, Andonian cinches the over-under body lock, moves forward to generate some momentum, and pivots right to off-balance the opponent and rotate him to his back. Head post, elbow post, initiate double, ladder up to over-under body lock, step through and rotate the opponent towards the overhook side to his back. Double, ladder up to over-under body lock, step through and rotate the opponent towards the overhook side to his back. Seatbelt single, transitions to over-under body lock, blocks the far leg to off balance, pivots right and rotates him toward the overhook side to his back. Single, over-under body lock, caves the lower back and takes him to his back. By the way, this is classic Andonian, where in one moment he's getting turned with a hammerlock half Nelson, and the next he has the opponent on his own back, racking up near fall points. In this one, the opponent shoots, Andonian grabs the over-under body lock, runs the corner, swings his right leg wide, and hangs his weight to hit a beautiful Tani Atoshi variation. A few other examples of throws from the over-under for your viewing pleasure. The next throwing technique to look at is this overhook twisting throw, which I've called the overhook kickout throw in prior videos. Andonian looks for this move when an opponent has a right underhook. To do it, he gets a left overhook, right side tricep control, gets his left hip inside, usually by stepping deep with his left leg while pivoting hard to his right and maintaining the upper body controls. These mechanics have the effect of kicking out the opponent's inside leg, pulling him into a downward facing posture, and rotating him over his far hip. Here's the same move again from the same match, this time stepping his left foot a little shallower while getting his left hip further across. Left overhook, right side tricep control, steps deep and pivots right. Andonian was also effective from the double overhook position, including this high octane one from the 2023 ACC Championships. Feels the double unders, locks up double overs, marches forward with zero fear, allows himself to get picked up, then plants and drives off his right foot to take the opponent to his back, and does a masterful job stabilizing the top position to get his near fall points. On that last point, I think one of Andonian's best and maybe overlooked talents is his ability to keep opponents on their backs and stabilize top position following a throw. Double overhooks, drive forward, step out of inside trip attempt, fall to hip, block the leg, force a double headstand position, then switch to head and arm control to get on top and secure the pin. The sentiment here, like in many Andonian clips, is I'm going to force a chaotic situation and I'm confident that I will come out on top. The last throw we'll discuss is the headlock. Andonian didn't use this one often, but he did pull it off 2 times in the NCAA Championships. Once in the opening 10 seconds of his first career NCAA Championship match, and the other came in the second round of the 2022 NCAA Championships, which he uses to counter, obliterate the opponent's high body lock as he drives forward. Beyond his throwing ability, Andonian is also skilled at attacking the legs. We saw earlier how Andonian uses the double leg to help transition to the clinch, but depending on the situation, he also uses the double leg itself as a means to get the takedown. Andonian would also occasionally attack single legs. Moving into defense, Andonian made good use of the chest wrap to counter his opponent's leg attacks. He was skilled at sitting the corner in the crackdown position when opponents attacked high crotches. It can be difficult to neatly categorize a lot of Andonian's defensive moves because they tend to be situational dependent and pulled off as if he just came up with them on the fly. This again speaks to the gunslinger ethos of trusting your intuition and finding a way to win in a given position. Take this one against Levi Haynes, where Andonian uses a reinforced underhook to force Haynes to his back and nearly get the fall. For more on this sequence, check out the full breakdown I did on it, linked below. Other examples are these body lock counters where he picked the far ankle. How about this duck under counter where he instinctively hips in and gets on top just before the opponent spins around to his back. In this one, he cartwheels off his head to prevent the opponent from ducking out to his back. Here he defends a takedown attempt by maintaining an overhook while broken down to his hip, rolls to his back, elevates the opponent's hips overhead, hip heists, and performs a headlock from bottom. Pure insanity. Another Andonian specialty is rolling escapes. These rolling escapes took different forms depending on the situation. Sometimes they were cartwheel style rolls, like this lat whip variation that he pulled off against Sammy Sasso in the closing seconds of the period. Here's a similar one. Other times he would do a front roll and hook or catch one of the opponent's legs mid-roll. This one resembles more of a Granby-style lateral roll, but the effect is similar to the prior two, where he catches a leg mid-roll and uses it to get a reversal. One thing I want to mention, because I find this very cool, is that in the middle of his college career, Andonian started using Jason Nolf's Win-Dixie technique. I've covered this move in prior videos, but in short,
spin around there. Another counter, and that looks like it's another takedown. Conference championship this year under Brian Smith.
Boy, to keep his head down when he's trying to wrestle through this position. He's elevated the foot.
And finishing as a senior and an your number 4 and 5 seed, looking for a spot in the semifinals. That number 1, that's Nick Stimmett of Stanford. His opponent and All-American from Lehigh, Michael Beard. And Graham Rooks.
On mat number 4, championship quarterfinal, 149 pounds.
There with the third most.
Reach shot there by Perugia. In a pretty good position, got the outside hand, measures that roll through really well and gets.
Seconds remaining here on 6.
In the tournament, his seed from Summersville, New Jersey, attended new match here on mat number 3. Wearing the green from Virginia Tech, Makai Lewis. And Hale Swinson. And 2 on the board down there on green for Josh Humphreys.
Now with some near fall points, looking to end it.
Susceptible to that little slide by here that O'Connor has. Oh, drops back in on the legs. He's got 2.
Coming to 233 pounds in the red from Oklahoma, Wyatt Henson. His opponent. Edwardsville, Caleb Tyus. His opponent from Iowa, Max Blockus.
University of Maryland.
A legitimate reversal and an escape here on 6.
Opponent from the University of Maryland, Cal.
Now coming up at number 8 in the red from the United States.
Escaping the takedown, full carded out.
And from Michigan, Will Luan.
And the call on the mat.